Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Sam and I'm one of the Power BI enthusiasts. So I am actually working on the IELTS data set, which is basically an international English language testing system. And in this, I am trying to find out that why and how actually IELTS made so much of money for the last quarter. IELTS, which is basically the sovereign body of British Council and IDP Australia, has recently made 3.5 trillion US dollars for the last quarter. Not only for themselves, they actually made the whole money from the whole country all over the world. As you can see, the picture says everything. So the source of this data I actually found out from the IELTS own website, which is they have published it widely. So all they have done is actually they have taken it into two different categories. One is academic for the university admissions, one for general training is basically for the immigrations. As you can see, in 2016 the university admissions went up to the skyrocketed to 80.7%, but general training is all of a sudden drops down to 19.3. Into these two of this part, they have divided into listening, reading, writing and speaking for 4 different modules for 2 different genders, one for female and for the male. So let's work upon this data and using the DAX. Here I have the DAX table available, and this is my data modeling so far, as if you follow up my previous sessions. As you can see, the schematics is actually very much simple. In here, the academic and general are 2 different test categories, and under that they have divided up into the countries which frequently appeared, means the countries where the nationals frequently appear for IELTS exam for either academics or for the general training, and the countries where the first language is not English. So if I take Germany, the first language is German. If I take Saudi Arabia, the first language is Arabic. If I go to China, the first language is Cantonese or Mandarin. So therefore, in this 2 categories, the whole test is being summed up into this data. Therefore, I have made this data table where I have all bind these pipelines to each other through each different functionality, using each of this relationship with a one-to-one, one-to-many and many-to-many relationships. Now what I'm interested is to find out the mean for the first language. The first language, which is general training, and the academic, I want to find the mean so that I can get access to data more clearly. And I want to also do the mean for academic frequent countries and general training frequent countries to get the mean. Now why? It is because a simple reason. I have the mean for the female test takers and the male test takers, but I do not have the mean of this sitting tables right here. So let's find out the mean through Power BI and through DAX. So all I can do, I can simply go to new column, and if I press it, I can get the column time in here, and therefore I want to find the mean for reading. So if I find the reading mean, I simply use average A, and into that is asking me a column name. And this is the beauty of the DAX, that its intelligence is so high, it automatically catches up with the name or the column name which I want to work upon. So I want to work upon the readings first. So I simply double click it and it shows, and I enclose it. So what this DAX actually does is a pretty amazing to see, that it is so it is basically if we take up this slide, as you can see, this is the number 1 column where it wants to goes to. This is the operator where the value will be stored, this is the function which actually takes up the data. This is the table name, and this is the column which we want to work upon. So in here I am actually working in the same functionality. So if I just press this plus sign in here, it will simply give me all the values, and you can see the column name will change and all the values will be in here. Now it gives me a random decimal number of all these parts, but I want to simply use a fixed decimal number. As soon as I do it, it's asking me that whether you want to change it or not, which I want to, and I simply press yes, and it changes. So likewise I will do for all the listening, writing and speaking. So let's just sit with me. So like in here I have created for the listening meaning, writing meaning, speaking and the overall. So if I check upon my modeling now, I can see a new type of data is available in here, but I need to create a mean. So what I need to do, I need to get the academic first language in here through a new table. So what I'll do, I'll simply save this and I will go to home, and thereafter I will just enter data, which will automatically pop up a new table. So I can create a table, and in that I can write the column name as mean academic first language, and in here I can write our listening, reading, writing and speaking, and in that I can write academics, the listening values, which is basically 6.5, the reading values, which is 6.3, the writing values, which is 5.9, and the speaking is 6.61. So I will just use 6.6, but the overall is also important. So I will write the overall mean, or overall I can say is 6.4. So similarly I will use it for the general training, and I will simply use a load, which is actually change the queries, or which will actually load up a table inside. Like you can see, the table 1 is written over here, as because I didn't use any table name. I used the column name, but I didn't use a table name. So I will use a table name in here, and once it gets loaded into the model, it is automatically detecting the relationships, and the table name is sitting right here. So what I will do, I will simply use the rename, and I will use academic mean first language, and I'll simply use enter. So my table name is changed from first table 1 to academic mean first language, and I have these columns available here. So like this, I have a table sitting right in here, and as you can see, it has automatically detecting up the relationships. But we will not work like this. We will simply delete it. Why? Because we are using it as a mean for this particular two set of tables. Therefore we will take it up and will press it right here, and now we have used the academics. So what we will do, we will create the relationships between the mean and to the first language. So we will take it from here and to here. Now the relationship is basically two-sided with double filters. We will not use that. We will simply use one to many. So we will make one to many, and it will be single-sided, and it says it is not a valid relationships. So what we can do, we can use one to many. So we apply it and it will show the path. So likewise we will work upon with other tables. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or don't forget to give me the valid comments, which is so much valuable for me. Thank you, and I wish you very good day.